Hey everyone, welcome to our Time Lab VBS set. The first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is our awesome time machine that we put together for, of course, the centerpiece of our drama and just the centerpiece of our set for VBS this year. It's so fun. It's a big part of the drama. We've had a lot of fun with it, using some special effects as we go, but I want to talk to you a little bit about the construction of it, as well as some of the fun special effects that we do. We basically built this in 3 parts. We have a base. The base is about 2 feet high. It's got a plywood top and bottom. And then we've just covered the face of it with Luan, which is 1/4-inch plywood. We've gone with a unique shape. We've actually made this in a shape of a decagon. It's half of a decagon, the front half of it. So it's a 1, 2, 3, or 6-sided. Maybe it's not a decagon. I don't know. But anyway, it's 6 panels going around. We used a aluminum ramp right here that is something that we use for moving equipment in and out of a trailer or up and down a set of stairs. So we had this and we used it. We just bought some fun caution tape that is sticky-sided tape that we just put down the side to add a little bit of an effect. But this base here is very strong. It's structurally strong. It's framed with 2x4s and 3/4 plywood on the top and the bottom because it's got to hold the weight of all the actors and everyone that are going to be going in and out of the time machine. So that's our first level. Our second level, which starts at the ramp and it goes up 8 feet, is basically an 8-foot framed wall. We added a couple door panels. We made these doors ourselves. They are Luan doors. And we've actually just on the inside put some cardboard on it to kind of hide them. Our handles were just made out of pieces of 1/2-inch or 3/4-inch, I think it's 1/2-inch piping that make some really cool industrial looking handles. Again, we're using this tape to hide some of the wood. But this is structurally strong as well. It's 2x4s framing, 3/4-inch plywood at the bottom, 3/4-inch plywood at the top. And it's just framed walls, Luan on all 4 sides again. And so again, this is structural because people need to stand inside there, close the doors, and go back in time. So those were pretty easy to build. The more difficult part would be the top part of our time machine. As you see, it's very cool, it's very unique. It's made mostly out of Luan or 1/4-inch plywood to keep it very lightweight so that once it was built, we were able to raise it up and put it on the top. We used some pretty unique items when putting that together. The clear tubes that you see are called a drum liner. We bought those online, and those are designed to be a plastic insert to a 55-gallon drum, and they're clear and they're not really that expensive. They're actually like a really thick plastic bag, basically. We put a plywood at the top and at the bottom and a 2x4 going down the center in order to give them a rigid shape. And those are just really cool because we bought some inexpensive LED lights on Amazon and they only cost about $8, and we put one inside of each one and the lights just kind of swirl and twirl and change colors, and they actually react to sound. So as we make noises, the colors change. And it just makes a really cool effect in there. You notice that we also, on those drum liners, we just put some green paint inside of them to make it look like there was slime coming down. The numbers that you see are on fins. Those fins are made out of Luan as well. All over the time machine, we've used holographic paper, and then the large numbers are just sort of a fun way to make it a bit of a clock aspect to it. And so we built that 3rd piece all together on the floor, raised it up and placed it on and attached it to the top of our time machine. And then of course all over our time machine we added some 4-inch drain pipe around the top, hanging down the sides. We even have it making it look like some legs here at the bottom. And that's really easy to do. Down here on the legs, let me show you. All we had to do was we put a small block of wood and attached it here to the wall. and then we put the pipe over that block of wood, say a 2x4, and then just put a screw in there to hold it in place. We did the same down at the floor. We just have a block of wood down there that the pipe is attached to. And this is some irrigation hosing. I believe you can get this in the irrigation section, or maybe if you have a section in your hardware store that might give you supplies for like an outdoor fish pond. That's some tubing. And we just kind of twisted it around and laid it around to just add a cool effect there as well. Also, just for fun, on the top of the time machine, we found online some ceiling mount security lights. Those are the cool light bulbs that are in like the gray metal frame. Those just looked very industrial and fun. We mounted them, just put a screw in them. We daisy chained them together with wire. One of our electricians did that for us, and they just plug into our light board, and we're able to turn them on and off as well. And then we just used some cardboard accents all around to add some fins to the side, a little kind of electrical looking thing at the very top, and just to kind of accessorize it a little bit. And so we use lighting effects with the lights that are inside the tubes, the lights that are on top of the tubes, and we've also placed some lights inside the time machine so that as we're using the time machine, those can kind of flash. And of course, we went to the party store and bought a fog machine, and we put that inside the time machine so that as we travel through time, we hit a little bit of fog just for another special effect. So with sound effects, lighting effects, and fog effects, the kids go nuts when they see the time machine in action. So, yours obviously doesn't need to be this big, but you can see what a big impact it can have on your stage by making it the focal point of what's going on. And so hopefully you guys can come up with a fun way to build a fun time machine. And a lot of this stuff is not really that expensive, so you can do it too.